Hello, everyone. On behalf of Descubra Mundo, I welcome you all. And as it was suggested yesterday, today's class is going to be a lot of survival vocabulary, words that you need in order to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So, welcome, Claudia. Welcome, Marcia. Welcome, Erica. Good to see you again. I hope you are staying home. I hope that you are safe. Okay. So, as we usually do, I'm going to start my class sharing the board with you, and then we are going to discuss today's topics. Okay? So, uh, for the first time since we have started these extra classes provided by Descubra Mundo in an effort to keep you home or to help you if you are outside Brazil, like Marcia is in Malta at the moment, and she's not having classes there. So we are providing some additional classes for you, not only to improve your English, but also to learn new things, to learn new vocabulary, uh, maybe to enjoy your time, okay? And I hope you enjoy today's class. So, what are we going to talk about today? Without further ado, we are going to talk about food, how to survive in English in relation to food. So, as you can see on my screen here, that's the first topic of the day. It's vocabulary that you can use in a restaurant or even with a host family. The first thing you're supposed to know is that the schedule, the timetable, the hours of restaurants, cafes, or even a bistro, they are quite different outside Brazil. In Brazil, if you go to a restaurant at 10 o'clock at night or sometimes 11 o'clock at night, depending on where you are, you can get a meal. Outside Brazil, it's going to be impossible. Only if you go to like 24-hour places, fast food places like Denny's or sometimes McDonald's, but even McDonald's close in certain places. Okay, but a restaurant, usually the kitchen closes at 8:30 or 9, so no meals are prepared after that. If you're having dinner, you can finish your dinner and go home. Okay, but so in relation to breakfast, there are three important meals in English: breakfast, which is served in the morning, lunch, which is a very light meal, and that's why in Brazil we say, vamos fazer lanchinho. Lunch comes from English. It's usually a very light meal because children go to school all day. It's a full-time school. So they don't go back home for lunch. So if children don't go back home for lunch, the parents never prepare lunch at home. If you're staying with a host family in Canada and your meal plan is full board, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, don't expect to go back home for lunch. They will give you a lunch bag and you take to school. And all the schools that we work with usually have a small place, a canteen or a cafeteria, or just a place where you can sit down and have lunch with your friends. But it's always a lunch bag. It's not a complete meal. Sometimes students get together and go out for a slice of pizza, which is common to have pizza for lunch, pizza and a small salad. That never happens in Italy, but there they only eat the pizza, not the salad. But anyway, outside Italy, it's common. Breakfast is usually served in restaurants or hotels between 6 and 10 a.m. If you get there after 10 a.m., it's closed. No more breakfast. They are already preparing for lunch, which is served between 11 and 2 p.m. Okay. And after that, you go home for dinner if you are staying with a family, or you go out for dinner. Sometimes you are going to listen people saying supper. Don't confuse supper with super, like Superman. Supper is another word for dinner, usually a later dinner. Because dinner, believe it or not, is usually served between 5 p.m. okay? 5 and like 6 or 7 p.m. Not as says here, 10 p.m. Okay, I've never seen a family having dinner at 10 p.m. Okay, but in restaurants, yes, 10 p.m. is the time from 5 to 10. If you're staying with the family, by 5 o'clock, they are already hungry because they had a small lunch. So dinner is going to be served around 5, 5:15, sometimes 6, not later than that. And on the weekends, sometimes the family, they don't serve breakfast. They prefer to eat a bigger meal, which is called brunch. Does anyone here know what the word brunch means? Okay, Claudia said brunch is breakfast plus lunch. Yes, exactly. Brunch is a big breakfast and includes some hot dishes that are usually common for lunch. But this is only on weekends. Many restaurants also serve brunch on the weekend. If you have an opportunity to go out for a brunch on Sunday, I'm sure you're going to like it. But without further ado, let's continue. In most English-speaking countries, the food is not extremely expensive, as many people say. I've heard so many people saying that they went to the US or Canada or even England and they had to eat sandwiches all day long. That's because probably they didn't go to a restaurant or an inexpensive restaurant. They only went to expensive ones and they thought the food was very expensive. But what is really expensive outside Brazil are the drinks. Okay? Sometimes you pay like 10, 12, 16 euros or dollars for a complete lunch, including like soup, salad, the main course, a dessert, and sometimes even a cup of coffee. But what happens is that you pay a lot of money for the drinks. A bottle of water might cost you like $3.50 or $4 or 4 euros. A Coca-Cola might be the same price, okay? So my suggestion, if you want to save money on drinks, is always ask for tap water, not bottled water, okay? If you ask simply for water, they will ask you, plain or sparkling? Please, I've heard many Brazilians say water with gas. Gas in English means gasoline. So you don't want a water with gasoline. If you want a carbonated water, it's called sparkling or bubbly, but not gas. All right? Very important. Sparkling or plain, flat. Or you can always ask for tap water. Tap water, it's not mineral, but it's possible to be drink, okay? It's drinkable, and you don't have to pay. It's free. So it's a good idea. So let's start talking about the first meal of the day, breakfast. Breakfast in most English-speaking countries and for all Brazilians is a complete meal, okay? As they say in English, it should be the biggest meal of the day. There's even a very famous English quotation that says, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. So again, if you are a girl, eat breakfast like a queen, lunch like a princess, and dinner like a pauper. Do you know what's a pauper? Yes, somebody said here, a very poor person. Yes, that's the idea. So according to their dietitians, breakfast should be the biggest meal, lunch should be okay, dinner should be small, but usually they have a small lunch, but a big dinner. So go figure. But anyway, when you go into a restaurant and you look at the menu, the breakfast menu, or if you are in a fast food place, you look over the counter, there is a board with all the breakfast options. Here are some of the words and vocabularies that you might need. As I told you, you do have the translation here, so I will just pronounce for you so you can get the right pronunciation, okay? So you can either start asking by saying, hello, good morning, what would you like? I'll have, or I'd like to have, it's more polite. And then you choose some cereal. I love cereal, okay? Like granola is the same name, granola. I love granola. But you also have cornflakes, Captain Crunch, okay? And there are hundreds of cereals that you cannot find in Brazil. So I'll have some cereal. And don't forget to use the magical word, please. Many times if you don't say please, they're going to ignore you. So just say, I'd like some cereal, please. Or I'll have some jam, okay? This is the same word used to refer to a traffic jam when the traffic stops, very common in São Paulo. Or some yogurt, okay? Outside Brazil, usually yogurt has no sugar. So sometimes you can even ask, can I have some sugar or a sweetener? Because it's kind of tasteless, no sugar at all. I'd like some eggs, some bacon and eggs, some scrambled eggs, some ham and eggs, very common, some fried eggs, some sausage and eggs. These are common breakfast in any fast food or hotel. I'd like an omelette. I'd like some hash browns. Does anyone know what is a hash brown? No? No? Okay. This is very, very good. I love it. Okay. It's kind of a potato, which is grinded. Okay. They just like grated cheese, they grate or grind, or they cut it in very thin slices of potato. They pack it together like a sort of a hamburger, but it's made of potatoes. And they deep fry it in very hot oil. So it's kind of crunchy outside, but it's very tender inside. McDonald's has very good hash browns. Sometimes it's greasy, but it's good. And in some restaurants, they are excellent. And they always come with breakfast. I have never seen hash browns for lunch or dinner, okay? Depending on where you are, in England, in Ireland, Scotland, or even in Malta, some restaurants, when you walk in, you see their full English breakfast, if you are in England. If you are in Ireland, you're going to see full Irish breakfast. If you are in Scotland, it's a full Scottish breakfast. Maybe Malta, they say a full Maltese breakfast. What is this? You don't have to order separate things. You get a big plate, and this plate comes with practically everything. Usually you get 2 pork sausages, some slices of bacon, some, I don't like this part, sweet beans. I don't know if it's because they put ketchup or sugar, I don't know. But they are sweet, big ones. Toast, butter, jam, fried mushrooms. Mushrooms are very good. And sometimes coffee, black coffee is also included. It's a complete meal. But be careful. If you are in Ireland and you say, can I have a full English breakfast? You're going to offend the person because you are in Ireland, not in England. So there is a full Irish breakfast. Okay, imagine that you go to a restaurant and you say, I'd like some eggs, please. How would you like your eggs, sir? Fried. Then you're going to listen to this question. Okay, but how would you like the fried eggs, sir? There are 2 ways of asking for the fried eggs. Maybe you don't find these vocabulary in books. The first is sunny side up. That's when you have like the white part and the big yellow part on the top. When you punch it, when you perforate it, the yellow melts. It's called sunny side up. My wife loves it. I myself don't like it. I prefer turn it over. Turn it over is when it's well fried on both sides, okay? But many people like sunny side up. Depending on where you are, I have seen in many restaurants in the United States a sign saying, our eggs are not served sunny side up due to healthy problems, okay? Because if you don't fry the egg very well, maybe there is a bacteria inside. So I think that nowadays, especially due to this new spread of virus, they're not serving sunny side up, okay? Other things that you can get in a breakfast, in a restaurant, or even in a host family are some sweet rolls, some pancakes. Pancakes, they are always served with something called maple. I'm going to write here for you. Maple syrup. Do you know what that is? It's not easy to find it in Brazil. I myself don't know what is the name of this in Portuguese, but I know that maple is a traditional tree in Canada. If you look at the Canadian flag, you will see a maple leaf on the flag. And when they extract the syrup from this tree, they industrialize it and they make a kind of a very, very consistent liquid, very thick liquid that you put on top of pancakes. It's called maple. My children love it, and so do I. Donuts, okay? I translate it as sonhos, but many people in Brazil also know the word donuts. When you order for a juice, usually you say the fruit first because the fruit is going to modify the juice. So if you want some orange, you have to say, can I have some orange juice, please? Or pineapple juice, or grapefruit juice, or I don't know why it's in the plural. We never use adjectives in the plural. Tomato juice, please. Can I have some toast? Okay, or if you want to be more polite, you can even say, excuse me, waiter, if it's a man, or excuse me, waitress, if it's a woman. May I have some more coffee, or may I have some hot water, or may I have some tea? Okay. When you order coffee, remember the pronunciation is coffee, not cough. Cough is one of the symptoms of the coronavirus. You have a very bad coughing. What you drink is coffee. Final E. You smile. Coffee. When you drink, order coffee. They can ask you, how would you like your coffee, sir? I myself always have it black. Some people like coffee with milk, but never say, I'd like some coffee with milk. Because if you do that, you might get a cup of coffee and a glass of milk. So instead, you can say, can I have some latte? Latte is a very common expression nowadays, or white coffee, or black, but I'd like some cream. Then they bring the cream and you put on the coffee, okay? Can I have some sugar? Can I have some hot or cold milk? Okay? Oops. Okay. I'm sorry. I skipped a few pages here. Let me go back there. Okay. Maybe sometimes in a restaurant, you also need other things like honey or lemon. Remember, lemon is limão siciliano. The one we use to make a caipirinha is not a lemon, it's a lime. So sometimes you order a Coca-Cola with ice and lemon, and you get a big, big slice of a yellow lemon. The taste is not the same of a lime. Okay, so that's why many Brazilians get disappointed when they ask for a lemon pie. Because in Brazil, usually we have a lime pie, not a lemon pie. Butter, butter, okay? Can I have some bread? Bread is not a countable word, so you don't say a bread, but you can use rolls, some rolls, like 5 rolls of French bread. That's possible. Salt, pepper, okay, like can you pass the salt? Can you pass the pepper? Or could you bring me a spoon? Could you bring me a glass, a knife? Okay. Once again, I went up. Okay, I have to use this scroll down. A fork. Okay. I think that's about it. For breakfast, I can't think of croissants. That's the same name in English. Okay. Pain au chocolat. Okay, it's the same name because they are French words, so they don't translate. Now, let's say that you're going out for lunch. You can ask around, okay, can you recommend me a good restaurant? Or is there any inexpensive restaurant near here? Or are there any inexpensive restaurants near here? Singular, is there any inexpensive restaurant? Plural, are there any inexpensive restaurants near here? Okay. When you go to a restaurant in Brazil, you usually walk inside of the restaurant, look for a table and sit down. Most restaurants outside Brazil, when you walk in, there is a sign, wait here to be seated. That means you cannot look for a table. You have to ask for the host, a man, or the hostess, a woman, to come and ask you, how many people in your party, in your group? How many people? Then you can say, a table for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, I don't know. And she will take you to a table. Usually you don't choose a table like in Brazil. She will guide you to a table and you have to sit there and eat there. So if you want to call the attention, don't please do it like many Brazilians go like, hey, shh, 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 hey, hey. This is horrible. Just say, excuse me, waiter, if it's a man that is waiting on you. Or, excuse me, waitress, if it's a woman that is serving you. And then they will come. So you can start a conversation. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on the time. I'd like a table for 2, for 3, for 4. So you follow him, sit down. May I have the menu, please? Always the magical word. Please, may I have the menu, please? After looking at the menu, okay, you can ask for many things. But let's suppose that you are still a smoker. Nowadays, it's not possible to smoke in any restaurant in Brazil, in Europe, in the United States. But there are certain coffee shops, some places where it's possible to get a table outside and you can smoke. So if you are a smoker, you can ask for an ashtray. Can I have an ashtray? Ash, that's what you get out of the cigarette. Tray. Can I get an ashtray? Can I get a spoon? Again, a glass, a knife, a napkin, or if you are in England or in Europe, you may use the word serviette. Napkin is used in Canada and the United States. In Europe, they prefer to say, may I have a serviette? Okay. May I have a plate? Another chair? Sometimes you get something stuck in between your teeth. I would say, go to the restroom, go to the toilet, wash it, try to get it out. But many people don't do that. They ask for a toothpick, and that's not very nice to do it nowadays, but you can ask for a toothpick. Now, usually a restaurant, some restaurants have a meal that includes 3 courses, 4 courses, sometimes 5 courses. courses in this case means 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of the meal. So you can start with an appetizer, then you can get a soup or a salad, then you get the main course, and then you get the dessert. So if you get soup, salad, appetizer, main course, and dessert, that's a 5-course meal. It's a complete meal. Sometimes it is not necessary to order appetizers or salad or soup. You can go straight to the main course and even skip the dessert. That's not a problem. But I'd like some appetizers. And then I'd like some, for example, sugar, some water. Again, I told you, and I'm going to include here, you can get plain or flat. Okay, there was a mistake here. Plain or flat or sparkling water. Nowadays, in Europe, there are many sparkling water with different tastes, like orange, strawberry, lime, lemon. So they're very good. I myself always drink sparkling water. Okay? Rice, olive oil, potatoes, or French fries. When you order just potatoes, probably they will ask you for a choice. Observe that in the United States and Canada, when you refer to batata frita or papa frita, they always say French fries. In England, I think because of the rivalry between the English people and the French people, they don't say French fries. They call it chips. That's why the famous classical English dish is not a hamburger, it's fish and chips. But chips in England or Ireland is always going to be the American French fries. But there are other ways you can ask for potatoes. You can get mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, those big ones that come with a lot of toppings, okay? Especially when you order a steak, you get a choice of potatoes. And then they ask you, how would you like your potatoes? Mashed, baked, French fries, or just boiled, or sauté. That's a French word, which means the potatoes are first cooked and then they are fried very fast in butter with some parsley or other herbs on top of it. Okay. Can I get some coffee or tea? Outside Brazil, it's very common to have a platter of cheese and fruit for dessert. Brazilians usually have cheese as an appetizer. Outside, in Europe especially, cheese and fruit are served for dessert, not appetizer. So you can have some fruit, okay, vegetables, milk, seafood. Brazilians love this word. I like seafood. And everybody starts, ka, 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 ka. I really like seafood. Mustard, ketchup. I tried to find a Brazilian equivalent for the word ketchup, but I couldn't. I tried to write like this, but I prefer to keep it in English like this. Then we have fish. Observe that fish has no plural, so you can say 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4 fish. You never use any kind of fish in the plural. So if you say, I went fishing, I caught 5 salmon, not salmons, or 5 trout, not trouts, okay? These words have no plural. They are always used in singular. So salad, when you order salad, you can order vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper, okay? And soup. I myself don't like soup. Do you guys like soup? Oh, yeah, somebody here say yes, yes, yes. No, no soup. Yes. I don't like soup, especially when it's like hot water with some vegetables boiling or just floating in the middle of it. I don't like it. If it's creamy, I like. but regular soup, no. That's not my favorite food. Observe something. Sometimes when you walk into a restaurant, you see a sign, blue plate special or specials of the day. Or if you ask the waiter, what are the specials? They will give you like usually 3 or 4, no more. Sometimes only 1 or 2 specials. There is nothing special about that. Special of the day is just our prato do dia. So if you are in a hurry, you should get a special because it's fast. If you order a la carte, it might take a longer time to prepare the meal. So the specials are faster because they are already pre-cooked. But don't think the specials are cheaper. Sometimes you find cheaper options because usually the specials are 3 courses. You have your choice of soup or salad, the main course, and a dessert. So they are more expensive than if you just eat a main course. Okay? Now, let's suppose that you are going to have a 5-course meal, okay? And you want to start with an appetizer. Remember, appetizer in English has nothing to do with cocktail or drinks. Brazilians think, oh, let's have some appetizers, and they think about caipirinha, beer. No, 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 no. These are drinks. Appetizer means entrada. It's usually what you start your meal with. So I'm going to pronounce for you, and we have here artichoke. Artichoke. Artichoke is very good, especially the heart of it, the central part. It's very tender, very good. Asparagus. I love asparagus. Avocado. Usually in Brazil, we eat avocados with sugar and lime. There, they eat it in Mexico too. They put a lot of avocado in everything, okay? Caviar, cold cuts. I love this. It's usually a board, a wooden board, served with a lot of different types of cheese, salami, bologna, ham, okay? So it's very good. A crab cocktail, okay? It's together here. Crab cocktail. There is a place in the United States near Washington, D.C., where they have superb crabs to make crab cocktails. So they're very good. Or sometimes they call it crab cakes, but it's always an appetizer. Ham and melon. Herring, I don't like it, okay? Lobster, I like it, but not as an appetizer. Mushrooms, olives, oysters. Now, prawns. Prawns are very big shrimps, very expensive. So sometimes you have a prawn cocktail, which is served with a dip where you put the prawn and eat it. The dip is usually spicy, hot, but it's very good. Shrimp is small. Prawn is big. Snails. I don't like snails. Tuna. Tuna is okay. And the classical peanuts. Sometimes in a bar or depending on the restaurant that you go, if you order a drink, you will always get some peanuts or some snacks. Okay. But is there anyone here who is a vegetarian? Yes, there is a girl here who is a vegetarian. So you might not eat anything like this, but you might have a salad. Or if you are on a diet or on a healthy vibe, there are some options of salads. So you can always say, what salads do you have? What kind of salad do you have? The most common salads are listed here for you. Chef salad is always a complete salad with everything you can imagine. Coleslaw, coleslaw. Cottage cheese salad. This is very healthy, and especially if you are on a diet, is very good. Cucumber salad, like they serve in Chinese or Japanese restaurant, is kind of pickled. It's good. Green salad, okay, it's several green vegetables all mixed. Health food salad is also a lot of veggies. Julienne salad, mixed salad, tossed salad, and I'd like to talk about something that is not here. Potato salad. In Brazil, if you ask for mayonnaise as a salad, they know what you want. But the name in English, mayonnaise, which exists, refers only to the condiment, not to the salad. The salad is called potato salad, okay? So I include it for you here. Now, I promised myself that I would never let any student of mine be in a very embarrassing situation when ordering a green salad. Because if you order any green salad, it doesn't matter if you are at McDonald's or any other place. Once you say, can I have a toast or a green salad? They're going to ask you, what dressing? Please, they're not talking about your clothes. I've heard Brazilians saying, oh, it's Brazilian, or, oh, thank you. I bought it at Zara, or I bought it at Harrods, or I bought it at the mall. Please, don't get yourself in a very embarrassing situation. They are not talking about your clothes. Dressing, when you order a salad, they are talking about the sauce that you put on the salad, that goes on top of the salad. And nowadays, it's possible to find in Brazil salad dressings. The most common and the basic ingredients I try to list here for you are the French, Italian, which is similar to what we do in Brazil, olive oil, salt, vinegar, salt, pepper, and herbs. Thousand Island, I like it a lot. Roquefort or blue cheese, Russian, and there's another one, it's called ranch. Ranch is very commonly served with buffalo wings or chicken wings, okay? But that's it. Remember, order a salad. Even at McDonald's, they ask you, what dressing would you like? And then you have to choose one of the dressings. If you don't know, you can say, what dressings do you have? And then they will tell you. Now, let's go to something I told you, I don't like much, but many people do. Who likes soup? Okay, I got one here saying, yes, I do. Yes, yes. There's a guy here that says, no, no soups. Okay, I agree with you. No, no, yes, yes. Okay. As I said, I only like soups if they're creamy. Okay, but some soup are okay. I try to list the ones that I like and the ones that are the most commonly found in restaurants, like chili con carne. You can say, are we studying Spanish or English? It's a Spanish name, but it's used all over the world. It's a classical, I don't think of it as a soup, because you cook beans with a lot of ground beef, a lot of condiment. It's very spicy, and you eat with tortillas or nachos, okay? It's called chili con carne. It's very good. Clam chowder. That's one kind of soup that I love. It's classical from the New England area. Okay, it's very creamy, very tasty, and very good. So if you ever see these in a menu, clam chowder, try it. You like it. Vichyssoise. That's a French soup served usually cold. I don't like it. Now, all the words that have consomme, for me, it's like hot water with a taste. Like beef, chicken. I don't like any of these. This, for me, is really hot water. There is nothing in it. It's just the water, hot water with a little taste. Crab soup, cream of asparagus, that is good. Cream of mushrooms, that's also good because it's creamy. And I think the only soup that I really like is French onion soup, because you use a lot of onions, very thick. Then you put a toast on top of it. Then you put a lot of cheese and you put it in the oven in order to gratin. in order to melt the cheese on top of it. That's very good. Vegetable beef soup, I don't like it. Now, usually people that are vegetarians, okay, usually people that are vegetarians, they like fish. I myself like, but I'm not always feeling like eating fish. Once a week is good enough. But I'd like some fish or some seafood. Then you can ask, what kind of fish do you have? What is the fish of the day? Because sometimes fish is the kind of food that should always be fresh. So you can ask, what is the fish of the day? What is the catch of the day? In Malta, I know some places, some villages where you can go and they bring the boat with the fish. You choose which one you want and they prepare for you. But here there are some of the most commonly found fish in English: carp, catfish, clams, fish and seafood, okay? Crab, cod. Observe something outside Brazil, cod is never dried and salty. It's fresh cod. So they're very thick, like you have a big fillet of cod. It's very good. Crayfish, okay? Or flounder. Flounder is a very expensive fish in Europe. Haddock. Haddock is also expensive. Lobster, very good, but very expensive. Oysters. Oysters. I don't like oysters. Prawns, I have already told you, they're big ones. Salmon, shrimp. Oh, shrimp, okay? Sole. Sole is also good. Trout, tuna. Observe that except for oysters and clams, that they are countable, all the others have no plural. They are always used in singular. When you order your fish, your waiter again is going to ask you, how would you like your fish? You can have it baked or roasted, or you can have fried, grilled, raw, like in Chinese or Japanese restaurant, raw fish, okay? Or smoked. I love smoked salmon, especially in sandwiches. Steamed is when you cook it only with the vapor of water, or stewed. Now, as I told you, and I'm going to say it again, it is very common in England, in Ireland, in Malta, even in South Africa, because of the English colonization, to find fish and chips. The fish, most of the times, is fresh cod, served with French fries, but they call it chips. And it usually, if you are in a restaurant, it also comes with mashed peas. Peas are those little green balls. They make mashed peas and tartar sauce. If you are walking on the street and you see fish and chips, it is possible that you get like a paper or a newspaper cone with fish in one and chips in the other, and they eat it on the street. It's very common, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I'm already getting hungry, okay? So is there any question about the vocabulary that we talked about here? This is something that you need to study. If you want to learn English, you need to study. If you don't remember how to pronounce well, you can either ask me tomorrow or you can ask our friend Google, okay? No problem. Okay, we are about to finish the class, and here you have the answers to the exercise I gave you last class, okay? We have no homework today. The only homework is study and memorize the vocabulary. So thank you very much for being here with me. I appreciate, okay, on behalf of studying at Descubra Mundo, I'm sorry. I thank you all, and I please ask you to complete the survey with your opinion about the classes, what you would like to study more, how we can make this more interactive, okay? I usually mute all the microphones because if I let everyone speaks at the same time, it's chaotic. You cannot listen to me. So I prefer that you listen to me and improve your listening. Okay, thank you very much. See you again tomorrow at the same time. Okay, bye-bye, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.